Hi, today we're spending some time together to go over my top 7 foundations. These are my 7 foundations that I would repurchase again and again. Why 7? Because that gives us one for every day of the week, right? Who might be interested in this video? If you have dry skin, if you have textured skin, if you're trying to cover acne scars, if you have hyperpigmentation or you have redness, if you're looking for something to blur your pores, this video might be for you. It's for the woman who has skin that's less than perfect and that wants her skin to look the best that it can. That's you. Stick around because we're about to get right into it. So I'm Mona, and this channel is About Face with Mona. I say that it's a channel for the mature woman, and we tackle things like skincare, beauty, and lifestyle. And that's because I'm 49, I'm almost 50, and my skin is mature, and I suffer from fine lines and wrinkles, and the things that come with aging. But it's really a channel that can suit anybody who is trying to make their skin or their appearance the best that it can be. And if you're younger than me, you might learn or pick up a few things that you can avoid or get better at as you're getting older. And if you're my age, then these are things that may be extremely helpful. So I think foundations are one of the most important things that I purchase in makeup. It sets the stage for my whole entire look. What I'm looking for in a Holy Grail foundation is going to be a foundation that's pore blurring, that doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles. And even if you don't have fine lines and wrinkles, my choices might be right for you, because if you have texture or you have acne or you have anything like that on your skin, you also don't want to make up foundation that's going to settle onto that, that's going to grip onto texture. My skin is normal, leaning dry. Okay, so let's talk about the Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo Medium Coverage Foundation with Titanium Dioxide Sunscreen SPF 25. This is $38 for 1 fluid ounce. Packaging looks like this. It's easy to throw in your purse, easy to travel with. A nice squeeze dispenser. The price point I think is very reasonable for what it does. This is a very underrated foundation. So this foundation comes in 15 shades. That's really not a wide shade range. But it does seem to be equally divided into light and dark shades, and I think that you probably could find a shade match for you. You may have to use some of those custom drops. They have some by Drunk Elephant. There's one by e.l.f. that's extremely affordable and good. You can actually just add a couple of drops of pigment, get a lighter shade and darken it up. I like to do that with any great foundation that I can't get a perfect match for. So this one smooths and hydrates, and that's why it appeals to me. So I feel like this covers all of my imperfections. I can cover hyperpigmentation that I get sometimes right here. I can cover all of my redness. I get a whole lot of redness from rosacea right in this area right here. I have broken veins and capillaries right here that I like to cover as well. And then I have a lot of texture issues. So heavy coverage for me is tricky because most heavy coverage is going to give me that cakey look, and it's going to look less flattering than more flattering. So how can I get a good coverage without having cakiness or feeling like I have a mask on? This is that foundation for me. It gives me probably the most perfect looking skin that I personally can achieve. I have obviously not tried every foundation out there, although I am working my way through them, and I have tried quite a bit of them. So it does give me a smoother look on the surface of my skin. It does blur my pores and imperfections. It lasts a long time for me. I find that to get the best effect from this makeup is to apply it with a dampened sponge like a beauty blender or a sponge of your choice. If I apply it with a brush, I'm going to get a heavier coverage, but I'm also going to get more of a cakey look than I would want. So if I use a wet beauty blender, I'm going to get the perfect coverage that is not cakey, that is not mask-like, that feels natural on my skin, that has excellent coverage, and it is long lasting for me if I set it with a light powder without breaking apart, looking pretty much the same as when I put it on, and not making my skin look older or aged or hanging on texture. It does not settle into my fine lines and wrinkles. It does not accentuate them. It blurs my pores. If you have flawed skin, if you have issues with texture, if you have a hard time getting a look on your skin that you want with a foundation, don't let the fact that it only has 15 shades be a deterrent. Purchase a lighter shade if you can't get a perfect match, and get the e.l.f. drops that you put into this to darken up the color until you find one that matches. I think it would be worth it. And you might just be able to get your perfect color match. It's cruelty free and it's vegan. I am trying very hard to switch my channel to all cruelty free products. There are more and more cruelty free alternatives. So if I can find a cruelty free alternative, I'm definitely going to go that route over a brand that's not cruelty free, which is going to knock some of my favorites out of the park going forward when I go to repurchase. We're going to talk about Wet n Wild Photo Focus Liquid Foundation. This is a repurchase. This is something that I think is incredibly good and it's affordable. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation Dewy Lumineux. I have the color Shell Ivory, which is perfect for me. This is $6.49 on Ulta. I have been able to get it on Amazon for as low as $3.29. It is weightless on your skin. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything. It gives me a dewy finish, but it's not too dewy. It is buildable coverage. I would say you can get the full end of medium coverage with this foundation. The only two negatives that I will give you is the applicator. The applicator is this little paddle, which is, you know, to me an odd way to put on your foundation. I'd much rather it if it was a pump. And the other thing is that it does have a fragrance. Some people have said like paint thinner. I don't notice it really, so I don't know why the smell doesn't bother me. I can smell it if I put my nose to it and go like this. Yeah, maybe you have a little bit smell of paint. For the price though, and the fact that that dissipates, that's certainly not going to be a deterrent to me. This is a really nice foundation. I've been using it for long enough and it stays in my favorites. So it hasn't gotten knocked out yet. I would say that speaks volumes considering all the foundations that I try. It has 14 shades. It does blur my imperfections and it minimizes my pores. It's cruelty free and vegan. So it really checks off all my boxes. It doesn't give me as full of a coverage as the Dermablend does. So I would say that this is a solid medium coverage. If you are happy with that, then you might really like this. It's thin in texture. It doesn't feel like you have anything on your face. I don't get the longevity of this that I get with some foundations. It's not short wearing. I get a good 8 hours without any issues. If I wear a primer under it, especially like a gripping primer, there's an e.l.f. primer that I can use that holds this pretty good. The Milk Gripping Primer. Any kind of good primer that you find adds longevity to your foundations, if you use that with this, you're going to get 10 to 12 hours with no problems, and especially if you set it. For $6.49, I have no complaints. I like the finish. I like that it gives me a little glow. I think it's a nice summertime foundation. This is the new Revlon Candid Glow Foundation. This is photo ready, candid, natural finish, anti-pollution foundation. What a mouthful. It is $10.99. It comes in 24 shades. I have it in the shade 120. It gives me a natural glow. I really, really like this foundation. So this is the packaging. It's got that little pump dispenser on the end that I like. In my last video, we were talking about the Kevyn Aucoin Stripped Nude Skin Tint. It's kind of packaged similar, the same. This beats this out by so much. This is $42, this is $10.99, and it is so much better. The only negative of this is that it's not cruelty free, and I really am trying to go in that direction. This goes on like a moisturizer. I put it on, I can put it on with my hands, or I can put it on with a makeup sponge, or I can put it on with a brush. My favorite way to put it on is just with my hands. 2 pumps. If I put 2 pumps of this, it feels like a moisturizer going on, but it covers all my redness. It does not enhance my pores. It does not sink into my fine lines. It does not look cakey. It does not cling. If I want a lighter, more sheared out coverage, I can do 1 pump. 1 pump goes on like a moisturizer, leaves my skin feeling soft and hydrated all day. It doesn't break up. It doesn't wear off, you know, before I'm ready for it to. But with 1 pump, I will have a little bit of redness peeking out. So if you like a sheerer, more skin tint kind of foundation for the summer, this is a great choice at $10.99. But yet if you want a light to medium coverage, then you use 2 pumps. This one also claims that it's skincare inspired foundation. It's ultra blendable, it's ultra buildable, and it's infused with antioxidants, anti-pollution, and anti-blue light ingredients. There are no oils, no parabens, no phthalates, no dyes, no fragrances. So it's not cruelty free, but it has a lot of other good things going for it. It has a natural finish, medium coverage, it's hydrating. Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. So this is among my favorites. And this is a repeat favorite. This is a repurchase. So if you're that woman who wants a no fuss, no muss makeup application, you might want to check out this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40 Niacinamide plus squalene plus hyaluronic acid. It is a little pricey at $46 for 1 fluid ounce, but if you're a no fuss, no muss gal and you want some skin loving ingredients plus some SPF, but you're not the type that's gonna put on SPF sunscreen before you go out, even though you should, and you're not gonna put on a lot of skincare ingredients, even though you should, this is yours. Because you're spending $46, but if you're not having to spend additional money on skincare stuff, because you're using the skincare in this instead, you're really getting a pretty serious amount of bang for your buck. It's hydrating. It's going to give you that light, dewy coverage. It's going to feel good on your skin. The texture is unique. It does feel like you're putting on skincare, like a serum, but it soaks in and absorbs. It doesn't sit on the top of your skin. You just simply put it on your fingers, wipe it all over your face, and you could be out the door. I would recommend, of course, that you put on your SPF first. But if you're not going to wear it anyway, at least this has 45 in it. Now, unless you're putting a whole bunch on, you're not going to get the full 45, but you may be getting 15 or 20. So, I really, really love this. 18 shades is pretty good. It covers most skin shades, and it's good for you if you have dry skin, if you have combination skin. I wouldn't think that this would be good for oily skin myself because it feels so hydrating, but it does say that it's good for all skin types, so I don't know. It's right up there. If I'm not looking for a lot of coverage and I want that no fuss, no muss day, this is what I'm using. One that's a little bougier, okay? I couldn't believe that I paid for it when I did, but because the way my skin looks is an issue for me, to use the expression, a lot of times I feel like my skin is all jacked up, that I'm willing to pay a little more for a foundation if it's going to work. This is the Tom Ford Traceless Stick Foundation. And I accidentally smashed the top because that's how I roll. I'm always rushing. This is $88 and I know it's pricey. I have had this for 10 months and I still have a pretty good bit left. So it lasts a long time because you hear the expression little goes a long way, but it really does. You can throw this in your purse. It's travel friendly. It's one of my favorite stick foundations. So this is kind of what I'm wearing when I want to go someplace. But now that I've discovered the Dermablend, you know, the coverage is kind of equivalent. This comes in 39 shades, where this only comes in 15. So with 39 shades, anybody can find their shade in this. And I feel like anybody could wear this foundation, whether you're oily, whether you're combo, whether you're dry. It's a cream foundation, so it's very flattering to mature skin. It can make younger skin look absolutely perfection. It can give you a more sheared out, like light coverage. I wouldn't say sheer. It can give you a light coverage, or it can give you full coverage. It's free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, all those things, and it's gluten-free, but it is not cruelty-free. It can be used as both a concealer and a foundation also, and so I feel like that adds to the value of a price because when I'm wearing this, I'm not wearing a separate concealer. So if I usually spend maybe $25 on a concealer, you know, you could say I was paying $50 something for the foundation. I don't know. I'm not trying to talk you into spending more than you want to spend on a product, but I do like the way this looks. It gives me a soft matte finish. It does diminish my pores and it does diminish my imperfections. It covers up all my redness. It covers up any flaws. It doesn't sink into fine lines. It lasts a long time for me. And this is one of the foundations that I would pull out if I am going somewhere to an event and really want to look my best. And I have it in the color Warm Sand, which is 1.1 or 11, I can't tell which. And it works for me just perfectly. This is Ultra Le Tint Velvet. Another easy to wear, easy to travel with foundation. This is $50 for your typical 1 fluid ounce. It only comes in 13 colors. I don't have a problem matching, but some people may have a problem matching in this. It's long wearing. It's sheer to medium coverage, gives me a velvet smooth finish. It does blur my pores. It does leave my skin texture looking much better. I think that it is one of those foundations that leave you looking younger maybe than what you are. It definitely does not age you when you put it on. I think the negatives are that it is not cruelty free and that it only has 13 colors. I love the finish of this formula. It's beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup Broad Spectrum SPF 45. Why are they all such a mouthful? Is it just me? So this is one of my favorites. I have this in the color 2C3 Fresco, and it's a little too rosy for me. I can get away with it, but I would go more neutral on my next purchase. So this comes in 20 shades. It says, I think, medium to full coverage, but I would say that it is medium coverage. It is nourishing and soothing and hydrating. It has Estee Lauder's proprietary blend of skincare ingredients in it. It has some chia seed. It has some probiotic water, I think it is. It's got good for you or good for your skin ingredients that help soothe visible redness and irritation. And that calls my name. So this is a moisturizing makeup. It gives me a luminous finish. Not quite dewy, but almost. Definitely brightens my skin. It does not minimize my pores so much as it just does not enhance them. This is not my favorite foundation for blurring pores, but it is a very good foundation for me. It is $45 and it gives you 1.2 fluid ounces rather than your typical 1 fluid ounce. So the price point is not too bad for an Estee Lauder department store brand. And I think the performance is exceptional. I think this looks very good on skin that is normal or skin that is dry. I don't think this one would be too good for my oily girls. I think it would end up breaking down before the day was over. I like to put it on with a sponge, and I like to set it with a setting powder, and I find that I get my best looks that way. I like the fact that this has antioxidants in it, so it protects your skin against pollutants that you encounter during the day, which makes this anti-aging because pollutants age your skin. So if you have a foundation that has antioxidants in it and protects your skin while you're wearing it from the elements like the sun with the SPF and the pollutants, then this is definitely an anti-aging foundation. I would like to give an honorable mention because I'm extra, because I talk too much, probably all of the above because I'm indecisive and can't make up my mind. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. This foundation has mixed reviews, and there is a reason for that. In the first 4 ingredients, I can't see the ingredients right now, but in the first 4 ingredients, could be second, third, or fourth, is denatured alcohol, which is the bad alcohol for your skin. It can be extremely drying. I think that it's in here to help this dry down on your skin, and that most of that alcohol probably evaporates. That's a decision that you'd have to make for yourself. I normally don't advocate for anything that has alcohol in it, especially that high up in the ingredient list, or a bad alcohol. But this is luxurious packaging. It is typical Pat McGrath quality, which I have come to know and love. This really does leave my skin looking airbrushed. It is sheer to light medium foundation. It doesn't provide a lot of coverage, but it is extremely pore blurring and skin refining. It is like having a little mini airbrush in a bottle. I think that it is one of the best light diffusing foundations that I have ever worn, and that it really knows how to diffuse light in a way that really puts your best face forward, literally and figuratively. My skin is extremely dry and dehydrated at times. At the best, it's normal. I rarely see oil on it anymore. And this does not dry out my skin. I don't find that it makes it red or that it causes it to be sensitive. It's $68, so it's a little bit on the pricey side. So it gives you almost 1.2 fluid ounces. And I have it in the shade Light 3, which is a perfect match for me. It is pricey. It's not cruelty-free. I'm gonna have a hard time giving up Pat McGrath to get that cruelty-free status. But I really like the way this makes my skin look. So I don't want to not mention it. Anyway, those are my Holy Grail foundations right now. That gives you one for every day of the week, plus one extra. I hope that this was helpful to you. If so, consider giving me a thumbs up and hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're alerted when I upload a new video. I'm glad I got to spend some time with you all. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope that you're staying safe and life is going well. And until next time, go out and live like Mel.